So the question is, will Dewey Riley be mentioned in any way in Scream 6? Now, it was sad to see him die in Scream 5. Um, I seen it coming, you know, with the whole, goodbye tour, basically, that teaser of him in Stu's house. Um, Kind of gave us a little hint that he was going to die because it seemed like it was his goodbye tour. But, so I kind of knew that he was going to die in the movie, in Scream 5, Um, Now, the way he died, obviously, was, you guys know my feelings about it. But I really do think that we are going to get some kind of mention of him in this film. You would assume that we will. Um, Maybe with some photos and whatnot. Maybe some flashback scenes. Um, Stuff like that. There's a lot of theories out there that believe that, Dewey didn't really die, that he's actually still alive and that he's coming back. But I don't believe it, guys. I don't believe none of those theories. We got to let him go. The character, sadly died, and I don't think he's coming back. Bottom line, dude, he got gutted, and there's no coming back from that. Like, the way he got killed was brutal. So I just don't think that he's coming back from that. But I understand why people are so frustrated. They want to see him back in this film. And I do too. I wish that Radio Silence would have went about it a little different, and would have did it a little differently instead of killing him off. They could have had him go off in the sunset, like kind of like Sydney. Maybe Gail, Sydney, and him both, all three, could have went out off in the sunset, and they didn't have to die. That's just my take, but that's the way I personally would have did it. But anyways, I know you have to move on at some point, and you can't have the OG forever. I know that. So, but back to the video. So, I think that Dewey, personally, we're gonna see some mention of him. I think in this film, I personally think that we're gonna see. Hopefully, this is my thing that I really want to see. I kind of want to see them show maybe like, let's say like a tombstone, maybe his grave or something. Maybe like Gail goes back to Woodsboro for a little bit and shows like a scene of her in Woodsboro, and that he's buried there, obviously, because that's where he got killed. Maybe they show his grave. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe he's got a grave, a tombstone or something, and maybe Gail like visits it or something. I have no idea. I think that would be kind of a little too crazy. I think. I don't know how a lot of people would feel about that. Um, a lot of people pointed out maybe a funeral scene too as well, but I think that if you're gonna do a funeral scene, you should have did it right after. You should have did it in Scream 5, like right after his death. Um, that's just what I personally think. But I guess you never say never with these movies. I think that there should be some kind of mention of him, personally, and um, I just think that with Gale in this movie, there has to be mention of him. What I am. This has been talked about a lot. I don't know if you guys know, but this has really been talked about a lot too. That's what if Ghostface calls Gale, right? And it's Dewey's voice or something like that. It's Dewey's voice on the phone, but it's actually Ghostface. That has a voice changer to be able to sound like Dewey. Like, just imagine how heartbreaking that would be. Like if they did that, they made Ghostface sound like Dewey's voice. Like, that would be pretty crazy, I think. That would be kind of that would make me feel like that would be kind of pretty crazy, guys. Like, but I really like that idea though, because then you're still mentioning him. I think that he needs to be mentioned more. because he was an OG of the movie. He is the OG character, so I think that there will be mentions of him. I really do. I think that's a Gale in this movie. No Sydney at all. Sydney's not in the movie. Obviously, this is Gale, and obviously Kirby, but Gale obviously has to have some pictures, right? And I think that we seen in the trailer that she actually had a picture of her and him. So I think that's a pretty cool reference. Maybe we see something, maybe his sheriff outfit, maybe in the museum or something like that. When he used to be sheriff, I have no idea, but there should be some kind of reference to him. I mean, you would assume that there would be. I mean, like I said, the way Radio Silence went about his death though was just, I don't know. I just felt I feel wronged about it. It just didn't feel right for me. It just does. Just the execution of it just didn't seem right. I think that it should have been done better. And I think that they should have brought him back to. They could have also did, like I said, had him live go off into the sunset, like I said, kind of like Sydney, and Gale could have followed him too. Like, they didn't necessarily have to kill. You don't necessarily have to kill the OGs. Just to move on. They could ride off into the sunset, just not come back. They could come back here and there. But so that's just my take on that personally. I personally thought that that would have been a better idea, but it's sad, guys. The character of Dewey, man, was just so iconic, OG character. And it was just sad to see him die, but hopefully we do get some mention of him in Scream 6. Some pictures and whatnot, maybe, like I said, flashback, something like that. So I just want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you guys want to see a reference of Dewey in Scream 6? Do you guys want to see some kind of Easter egg too? Maybe, like I said, we see his sheriff outfit that he used to wear when he was sheriff. Something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. So I think that's about it, guys. Be sure to comment down below. I just wanted to talk about this in in this video. Just kind of touch on it. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think about the idea. Would you guys like it? Do you guys think that they should just leave it alone and just move on? Or do you guys think that he should be mentioned still? Let me know in the comments.